Good morning everyone. I am Wendell Barquez of CTU Barili Campus, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. And you are now again watching my tutorial video. And since we have already tackled about the subject-verb agreement, the sentence structures, as well as fragments, now let us discuss what are run-on sentences as well as its types. Without further ado, let's begin this tutorial video. To formally begin our tutorial video for today, let us first identify what are run-on sentences. A run-on sentence or run-on sentences occur when two or more independent clauses, or what are also known as complete sentences, are connected improperly. So, a run-on sentence doesn't separate any of its two independent clauses with the punctuation it needs, and a comma splice incorrectly separates two independent clauses with a comma instead of a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Since you already know what is a run-on sentence, let me introduce to you now the three types of run-on sentences as well as its examples. Our first type of run-on sentences or run-on sentence is the comma splices. Comma splices, these are sentences that contain two complete thoughts joined by a comma. While the sentence does contain a punctuation, it is still wrong. It should be separated or split into two sentences, or a comma swapped out for a semicolon. Now let's take this example. Sean loves the museum. He asks to go every day. So in this sentence, we use the comma to separate the two independent clauses. And it is considered as a run-on sentences because it is incorrectly punctuated. Instead of a comma to correct this sentence, we can use period instead to split out the two independent clauses. So the sentence now looks like this. Sean loves the museum. He asks to go every day. So in this sentence, we are now using period to clearly separate the two independent clauses. Now let us move on with our second type of run-on sentence, the fused sentences. So fused sentences is the type of run-on sentence that is considered as the most common among the others. So these type of run-on sentences, which we call as fused sentences, are those sentences that contain two or more independent clauses that run together without the proper punctuation. So it is improperly punctuated, which make these sentences a run-on sentence. Now, let us take this example. The night was dark and stormy. It was hard to see the road through all the rain. So in this example, there is no punctuation used at all, which makes this a run-on sentence, specifically fused sentences. So instead of not putting a punctuation mark or any of a punctuation mark, let us use a period instead to separate or to split out these two independent clauses. So, if we do that, our sentence will now look like this. The night was dark and stormy. It was hard to see the road through all the rain. So now we are down with our last type of run-on sentence, which we call as polysenditons. So polysenditons refer to the several complete thoughts that are connected by far too many conjunctions. So unlike our example earlier, which has no punctuations at all, this type of sentences has too many of them. And this results into a very lengthy sentence that's hard to follow. So now, to make you understand more what is a polysenditon or what are polysenditon sentences, let us take this example. So, Erica threw her boyfriend a party and all his friends came and they all brought presents and they ate cake and they played video games and they made a mess and no one helped her clean it up and it was a really long day. So now as what you can see, our sentence here is very long, quite too lengthy, and it used a lot of conjunctions. There are a lot of ands that are used to connect these phrases, and it is not advisable to do your sentence like this because it might confuse again your readers. The main thought of your sentences will be gone. So to correct this run-on sentence, we can use comma or period. To correct this sentence, we can say or we can make it in this way. Erica threw her boyfriend a party. All of his friends came and they all brought presents. Later, they ate cake and played video games. They made a mess and no one helped her clean it up. It was a really long day. So now as what you can see, we've used comma and period to separate those phrases, independent phrases, to make our sentence or to make the idea of these sentences clear to our reader. So this is no longer a run-on sentence, but now it looks like a paragraph composed of many sentences. So as a short of generalization, it is very important, guys, to know how to use proper punctuations in our sentences. So there is no wrong with making our sentences too long, provided that we use proper punctuations. So in this case, your sentence will be grammatically and technically correct, and you are no longer misleading your readers to what you are trying to convey. So that is all for today, guys, and thank you again for spending your time with me in this video tutorial, and hope to see you again in my next video. God bless and bye bye.